Hi everybody, welcome back to Storm Warnings Open House. This is part 2, the second segment. Today we're going to be talking about the engine, drivetrain, suspension, the parachute, some of the odds and ends, the wheels and the tires. We'll take a peek underneath also, the best we can. Since we don't have a lift, this ain't overhauling. We'll show you the best we can, and we also want to say thank you to a bunch of folks that helped make this possible. So hang on, and next up is Storm Warnings engine. Stick around. Well, folks, here's the heart of Storm Warning, a 1965 396. We were going to go ahead and get a crate motor, but when we found a 1965 396 engine, what could be better than that to put in our 65 Nova? It has iron port heads. I think they're from 1968 396 iron heads, oval ports, the small ports for the street. We're running a comp cam roller at 242 and 248 duration at 50 thou, and we're using a 9.75 to 1 compression ratio, and the engine dynoed at 557 horsepower at 6,400 RPM. It's running an Edelbrock air gap performer manifold with two 500 CFMs, and let me tell you folks, it's pretty snappy. Those headers are from Patriot. They're for a 55 to 57 Chevrolet big block. Don't ask me, they fit in there just fine. We also, worried about period correct stuff here. So right here we've got our sun tachometer transmitter, the EB9A, and also there's a 1963 Corvette recovery tank. I wanted to put that on. I figured that would go well for a puke tank for Stormy. The radiator is an aluminum Griffin, 600 horsepower with a pusher fan. I can tell you this, folks, here in Southern California, the car has not run over 170 degrees, period. It's just amazing. Don't know what to tell you, but it's running great. Our brake system is from Master Power, and the car is really running great. We're tickled to death with the engine. Joe Sherman did a great job with it, and it sure sounds a little ratty, nasty, I should say. I'll start it up. Some people want to know how it sounds, so let me fire it up for you, and we'll give a listen. A lot of folks say, well, how's it sound? You know, has it got a rumpity rump to it? Well, I don't know. You folks can tell me. While we're under here, we can check out the back, too. I'll tell you about the springs when it's a little quieter. Well, that'll get it done, and it sure likes gas stations. I think we're getting about 8 miles to the gallon, which isn't too bad for a 557 horsepower engine. But I'll have to check that. That seems a little bit too much, but so hang on just a second. Now, you've probably noticed our front subframe is a little different than a lot of the ones you may see from CPI or CPP and total cost involved. This is actually a reproduction, I should say a recontinuation, not a reproduction, of the front subframe that was built originally by Bill Thomas in Anaheim, California, a Chevrolet engineer guru who developed quite a bit. He was the fellow that developed the Cheetah, if you remember that. And he did a lot of work with Chevrolet. And this is a replica of his front end with the leaf spring front end, straight axle. It saves about 150 pounds off the stock unit. Now, Nickey Chicago began reproducing these about 2 years ago, And I was fortunate enough to end up with the first one that they built. And we received Nickey Chicago #1. I don't know if you can see that or not, but the sun's shining on it. But it's a tube, 2-inch tube at the top, inch and 5/8 at the top. I'm sorry, 2-inch at the bottom, and the leaf spring, and it's really pretty slick. This was first previewed in March '66 in Hot Rod magazine. And you'll notice all some of the other stuff here. Our low mount alternator bracket that I made using some 409 parts. We had to make a lot of stuff. The radiator brackets, the mounting, this mounting here. I had to fabricate all that for the voltage regulator, horn relay, and so forth. We had to make a lot of stuff on this, but that turned out to be pretty cool. And then out front here on the front, we've got, these are bias ply tires from Coker, Firestone Deluxe Champions, 760/15s on 4.5 by 15 American torque thrusts. Love those. I can't do without those wheels. I think they're great. And on the back, we're running Firestone Dragster 1015 DOT approved, actually. They have 2 grooves in them, and running them on 8.5 by 15 American torque thrust Ds. And we'll sneak around here. And the last thing I wanted to show you was our parachute, a real Simpson vintage. Got that from eBay. We also have our, I don't know if you've ever seen these before, backup light deletes. These were also on eBay, and when I saw them, here's the delete item, save some weight. I couldn't resist it. Oh, and by the way, this parachute is really a fake. It's on a door hinge, a spring-loaded door hinge, and I've got it filled with Fruit of the Loom underwear, my jockey shorts actually, because I do need to carry a pair when I drive this thing just to be safe. So, with my apologies to Steve Mignotti. Hang on. You know, there's quite a few folks that we have to thank that we could never have done this project without. And a very big thank you, in no particular order, to John Tinberg, Nickey.
Go John.
Dale Snokes Metal Shed, great fabricator.
Yeah, Dale.
Our friend Wild Bill Sherman, who has really contributed a lot to the project.
Thanks, Bill.
Yep, his brother Joe Sherman, who built the engine for us. We got to say hi to John, Cliff, and Art at C&J Engineering in Whittier.
They like to drive the car.
And then, yeah, thanks to fixing the carburetors. And Jim Shirley Design. Dale Porterfield at Dave's Frame and Alignment. Got the shimmies gone. Gary Crosby at Beaver Spring in Santa Ana. Fixed our front spring problems. Bruce Alvarez at Ace Auto and Performance. Thanks a lot. And Fred Fujikawa. Right said Fred?
Yes,
Stick
Fred.
welder supreme. So, hey, thanks to all of you guys. We
Thank you so
never
much.
could have done it without you.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Thanks again for coming by to Storm Warning's open house. I hope you had a good time. We will be having some more in the future. And I want you to stick around and just keep your eye peeled for the next video, because the next time you see a video, we're going to be taking you for a ride in Storm Warning. Thanks again. Coming back. See ya.